If you've been feeling like the coaching industry just isn't working like it used to, you're not alone and you're not wrong. Funnels are stalling. Conversions and sales aren't coming in at the pace that they used to. And what used to work is just no longer as effective. And you feel it. But it's not because you or your offer are any less valuable. It's just that the game has changed. And the business model that got many of us here, it's not going to take us where we're going next. I know this because I lived it. So, really quickly, back in 2021, I left a 28-year corporate career as a national sales rep to go full time into my coaching business. And for a couple of years, I was doing the side hustle thing, just trying to grow a coaching business. At the time, I was helping women over 40 with weight loss, and I was able to do pretty well. Long story short, I ended up partnering with my past business partner to build a new business called Energetic Alignment Academy. And we helped other coaches and spiritual practitioners build their businesses. When we launched Energetic Alignment Academy, we launched it from scratch, no audience, no email list, just a vision, brand new niche for the both of us. And within 7 months, we had hit our first six figures. And eventually we crossed $1 million in revenue, just about almost 3 years later. We really built something real. It was a high touch business coaching program that helped over 100 new coaches launch and sign their first clients and create consistent income. And the community that we attracted, oh my gosh, it was literally one of the most soul aligned spaces I've ever been a part of. And it was a beautiful season of my life. It was amazing. It was that success story, right? Like I quit my corporate job, my cushy 6-figure income, went off on my own. We made it happen. But in 2024, things started to shift. Ad costs really rose because our conversion rate started to drop. And we're looking around and we noticed it wasn't just us. There were other 7 and 8-figure coaching brands that began quietly shutting down or slashing their prices. Even Brooke Castillo, the founder of the Life Coach School, which is one of the schools that I trained at, she closed her school down. Our program worked, but the market had evolved and the model we were using hadn't. So fortunately, I did see this coming and I'd been quietly preparing for what came next. I had something on the back burner that I called AI Coach Box. And that is what I'm doing now. So if you're new to my channel, I am now newly just like starting to put content on here regularly. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'm going to be sharing things that are relevant for you as a coach when it comes to AI and how to remain relevant in an AI world. So in any case, since 2022, I'd been, watching AI start to change everything. When ChatGPT hit the scene, I think it was November of 2022. And it wasn't just, marketing and automation and content creation, which was all great, but like how people learn, how people buy, like how they engage with coaching itself. And so when that old model stopped working, I finally had the space and the urgency to go all in. So really my point in this is if you haven't hit that breakdown point yet in your business, you're really lucky because you get to evolve before you're forced to. Now, here's the thing that I think most entrepreneurs haven't yet admitted, especially when it comes to coaching. It is that the delivery model that we used to use is collapsing. Because the truth is, your audience doesn't need more information. And they don't want to wait a week to get on a call, or worse yet, get on a group call where they might not even get their questions answered. And I think the market is really evolving to expect answers on demand and support on demand, thanks to AI. So the good news is that today you can serve at a higher level and you can get your clients even better results than ever before without the added stress of managing a big team and diluting your profit margins. That's what AI unlocks, but only if you use it the right way. So the first thing I want to share is why the coaching industry is collapsing under the old delivery models and why AI trained specifically on your IP is the answer. And then if you want to learn how, you can watch another video. I'll drop the link here for you. But another video where I show you how to actually do this yourself, even if you're not techie. But first, let's talk about like what's really happening right now. It's not that your program isn't good enough. It's just that the way we've been delivering it is outdated. So think about this. The old model is bloated and it's built for a different time. We didn't have a choice before, right? We're only one person and we can only serve so many people before we're totally burned out. So when we scale as our business grows, we create courses, we create content, a curriculum vault that can help our clients without us in the room. Oftentimes, we hire coaches like we did in Energetic Alignment Academy. Fortunately, we had some amazing coaches. But yes, most people have to hire coaches to continue to provide the intimate one on one support so that we could spend our time doing weekly group calls and building that curriculum and growing our business. A lot of people hire community managers to keep up with all the questions that are happening inside the communities. And if you think about it, this is a lot of overhead and it's a lot to manage in the way of quality control. But today, it's not only unnecessary, it's just also not as efficient or effective for your clients. After all, if you think about it, they came to you for guidance, not other people that you hired to coach for you, right? The other issue, besides it being over bloated, the old model depends a lot on motivation and on willpower, meaning your clients are really left to their own devices. So they're navigating everything in isolation until they have the opportunity for live feedback or live support, right? And meanwhile, life is throwing 1,000 distractions at them. So that's not what is going to create a transformation. And it's not what today's market wants, because here is the truth. We're no longer in an information economy. We used to be, but we're not anymore. Now we're in the intimacy economy. Now we're in the experience economy. And right now, most coaching businesses, most offers, they're not struggling because they're bad. They're struggling because they can't compete with Chat GPT. Yeah, I said it. Not on speed, not on access. And nobody wants to sit through a 60-minute video anymore. So they're asking GPT to summarize, simplify, strategize, and in seconds. Now, I want to share two quick slides with you really quick, because I think it's really important to see what is happening, as this is going to affect all of us, and it already is. Okay, I wanted to give you some actual real stats here, some real information, and how people are using ChatGPT for therapy support. And I know that I'm mainly talking to coaches, but this goes for therapy as well. And we know there's a lot of overlap. And if people are using it for therapy, they're also definitely using it for coaching. So recent studies and surveys show a significant portion of users are turning to ChatGPT for mental health support. About 50% of LLM users, large language models, if you're not familiar with what that is, like ChatGPT, with mental health issues, use AI chatbots for support, with 96% of those choosing ChatGPT. Common uses include managing anxiety, seeking personal advice, coping with depression, improving mood, and alleviating loneliness. The main reasons cited are accessibility and affordability. That is what we are competing with today. Okay, I will show you one more slide here real quick and just show you that there are businesses already doing this. You've got the tool, the type, the key features, and the primary use case. So for example, we've got Wobot Health, that's a chat bot. Its key features are CBT-based exercises, mood tracking, 24/7 support. It does anxiety suppression, depression support, emotional regulation. I'm not going to read all these. You can see here there's quite a few businesses that are already implementing AI as a hybrid way of supporting people. So I am not saying that AI is going to completely be able to take over humans. That's not what's going to happen, actually, because we still need that human component. And I'm going to get to why that is here in a minute. But for now, I just want you to think about this. If your offer is just, curriculum and modules and worksheets, oftentimes people are going to skip that, not because it doesn't work, but because it doesn't meet them where they are now and how they want to consume this kind of support and information. The market's changed, and if your delivery doesn't evolve with it, it's going to get left behind. So here's what the new standard is. If you want to be relevant, if you want to be able to scale without burning yourself out, and if you want your clients to actually implement what you're trying to help them with, then your coaching needs to feel more like a conversation, not a course. So imagine this instead. Let's say your client's up at 11 p.m., they're stuck. They open up your custom GPT trained on your IP. It knows your method. It speaks your language, and it walks them through exactly what to do, not based on like random generic advice, because GPT is very smart and it can give a lot of advice, but is so much more powerful when it's trained based on your IP, your questions, and your frameworks, because that's what people come to you for. So it's like having you on call without you being on call. And this is what the next chapter is going to be about, everyone. It's not about replacing us, it's about amplifying us, it's scaling your transmission. Really, it allows us to deliver our brilliance and the reason that people want to work with their coaches in real time at scale. It's quite impressive. And I've seen this in action. I've seen it with my clients, and I've seen it with other coaches that I work with who are using these assets to their programs. And I can tell you that once they have these, their videos and the curriculum almost become obsolete because there isn't a need for them anymore. The completion rates of somebody actually doing the work is so much higher. The clients get what they need from the GPTs way faster and a much higher quality. So why in the heck are they going to want to spend hours watching videos? So that is something that I think everyone needs to be aware of if you want to remain relevant in an AI world. Nobody wants to do that anymore. So there's a time and a place for it, but there has to also be this interactive component, you know? Okay. Now, I want to, again, I said I was going to get to this. I want to make sure that you understand that none of this means that you're going to be replaced. As a matter of fact, I think that if you're willing to evolve, if you're willing to lead differently than you have before, if you're willing to stop clinging to what used to work, then you are about to enter one of the most exciting chapters that coaching has ever seen. Because here's what AI doesn't replace. It's very powerful, but it's not a replacement for you. It can't scale your brilliance. It can't really like be the thing that keeps people coming back to you, which is your presence, you holding the space, your intuition, your ability to see them and feel them in ways that no bot, no prompt, no computer ever could. Because you got to remember, AI doesn't feel. It can simulate empathy, but it doesn't understand it. It can't read those subtle shifts in somebody's voice when they say, I'm fine, but you know they're not. It doesn't have lived experience or trauma wisdom or gut instinct. It can't adapt in a crisis. It's not going to hold space when somebody breaks down. And it's not going to sit with a client in silence or give them that look, that kind of says, I see you, you're safe. That's your job, and it always will be. So no, AI does not replace the depth of this work, but what it does do is free you from the repetitive, predictable, energy draining parts of your business so that you can do more of what only you can do. So I think the next chapter of coaching is not about being robotic. It's about being more human than ever and using the right tools to support that. AI is not the threat. The real threat is ignoring what's coming and then clinging to these old systems that no longer serve you or your clients. Tell me in the chat, what do you want to hear more of? Write in the comments, because I can't wait to share more ways that AI can empower you to be a better coach and serve more people in the future. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I'll see you next time.